It's Emmy! I'm really missing doing some special effects stuff. I know that I have a project which is like most of the way done back at home. There's a few bits that need to be done and I can't get to it, of course. So I was having a look through the basic makeup that I've got with me and trying to figure out something that I could do that's a bit out of the box. So this week I'm going to be showing you how to contour yourself old. Because honestly, that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm about 1,000 years old. There is, of course, the latex stippling trick that you can do to kind of make yourself old, which if you're doing it on yourself without any help is nigh on impossible. It's a pain in the arse. And when I've tried it out, I've always found that I need to do a little bit of contouring anyway, just to accentuate things. But I don't have any latex with me, so today we are just contouring the hell out of this mug. So I'm going to chuck on a bit of primer and foundation and then we'll get into it. Right, I have foundation. More mature skin can have a different texture. Mine's not doing very well, so it has a bit of a funny texture, so it should help with the illusion, I'm hoping. So for this look, we're not going to need a great deal of things. So basically we need a contour powder. And you could do it with like a darker shade of concealer if you want, but I find that a powder works best for me personally. So I've got Honolulu by W7, which is the best dupe for Hoola by Benefit. Love. You know me, bargain queen. I don't want to spend all of my money on stuff that I can get pretty cheap that does the same. Just because it's got a name on means nothing to me. So we've got contour powder and a concealer. So the contour would be for the actual crease of the wrinkle, and then the concealer, which is going to be a lighter shade because that's going to kind of bring forward the actual fold part that's going into that crease of the wrinkle. I know what I mean, I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to use this for the powder side of things. It's a bit bigger than what I would ordinarily use, but you know, I've got to deal with what I've got. And this brush, which as you've probably seen I use for cut creases and things like that, but I'm going to use it as a concealer brush because it's so much smaller than the applicator that comes with the actual concealer that I've got. So first things first is play around with your face. So I've got a mirror here. At 25 I'm already starting to see some wrinkles. So I definitely have some under eye creases. They are definitely there. I've got about 3 per eye. They just don't seem to want to go away. I don't have a great deal of, well, I don't really have forehead creases very much. I can kind of see where they could be, but it doesn't really do it very much. If I frown, I can tell that I've got the 11s. I've got like a little dimple here and here. I know for a fact that I've already got jowls, so that's going to be quite easy. And I've got quite a strong chin, so I can bring the contour up here. I'll make this a bit more pronounced and make me look a bit more jowly. I can tell where my lash lines are. If I crease up my my eyes, I can see where crow's feet are going to be. Basically, I'll be able to see where a lot of the wrinkles are going to appear for me. If you want to age yourself to look maybe like a specific character or actor, I would say get a reference photo, definitely, because your face is not the same. You're not going to wrinkle in the same places. They have their own characteristics, so it's better to have a reference. But for me, I'm just aging myself right now. So I've got some contour on here, and I'm going to accentuate these lines. So that is my first wrinkle, which is just a laugh line. It looks really good when I'm actually like in a laughing face, but then when I relax it, it is quite harsh there. So the best thing that I find is to blend it out a little bit on these sides so it's a bit less harsh. But you basically, you want to try and accentuate the shadow that will come from this crease rather than the topmost bit. So that's the first one, and then what I would do is, there we go, get the little brush, get a bit of concealer and just kind of go to the edge of where you're wanting the light to bounce off the top of that fold. And because I've not got a sponge, I'm going to have to blend with my finger. Okay, so that is my first wrinkle. It's pretty simple to do. If I have any other tips and tricks that I find through this journey, then I will show you, but this is a very quick thing to do. Of course it's very accentuated, it's not going to be particularly realistic, but it's fun to have a play, to be honest. Why not? I was just saying how beautiful I am, and then the camera turned off. Which is about right. So you probably won't want to go with your jawline because when you're young it tends to be more snatched. So when you're older it does tend to go a bit south, which is why you tend to get jowls and things. So just to accentuate that dropping effect, shall we say, it's better to go a little bit under your jawline just to kind of accentuate that. So I'm currently mapping out where all of the wrinkles are and kind of blending that a little bit, and then I'm going to go back in with the concealer just to kind of make everything fab. So usually people tend to have a bit more of a bag going on under the eye. I mean, I've got a little bit of a bag, but this just accentuates. It can also help to accentuate a little bit of creasing around the eye here, which of course a lot of people do have generally, whether young or old, but it can just make them seem a bit more set in, have that brow bone seem almost, what's the word? Saggy. A bit saggy. I've also found that if you make a bit of a line under where your eyebrow stops, or possibly where it's meant to stop, God knows for me really, it kind of makes it look a bit saggy. So a lot of older people may have thinner lips. The lack of collagen, which of course starts decreasing after a certain age, so that will result in smaller lips. So I'm just gonna lightly blot out these lips. So for the mouth, say your old lady is a smoker, she's gonna have a lot more lines here from where she's done her pursed lips. I'm also, because I'm not very good, I'm gonna just check out a couple of reference pictures of generic older people, just to check that I've got some of this anatomy right. 'Cause I'm pudgy, my face doesn't wrinkle quite as much as maybe it could with movement. So here we are, the finished look. It's more for, I don't know, if you're in a theatre and you're painting for the back of the room. It's not necessarily for close-up work, camera work even. It's just a lot more exaggerated than I would probably want to go for. I would definitely try it again with a smaller contour brush, just so I can get those fine lines as fine as I can. These are kind of very exaggerated, almost comedic, although I do run the risk of looking like Emperor Palpatine. Hope you enjoyed this little tidbit. I've done what the hell I can. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye!